but if you use a lot of it, it's gonna look really bad. Like, and I liked it. I don't know, I mean, it kind of like made me want to like makeup again. Again, I feel like it's kind of like the same for all of them. Like, I love them, but then I got bored. So it is another rainy day and I decided to film this Pan project update here in my living room. Mostly because I'm home alone and Benny needs constant attention or else he'll start crying, barking, and making a mess. I have some like really funny videos of Benny, like this one right here. Oh my god, the story about that one. I was at home by myself and I was making myself some coffee and I have the door open. What I used to do with Cookie, I would always have the door open so they could just go in and out whenever they want. We have a gate around the fence, around the house, so they're not gonna escape unless somebody leaves the gate open. And he literally just came in looking like this, like, oh my god. I did make him a little TikTok. He's just like so funny, so I did decide to do a TikTok for Benny. For you guys want to go follow him on his TikTok account, you guys can go ahead. For my Project Pan, I was like really on it. I was like, I'm committed to like really see a dent in it, but then it kind of like became like this like rush of wanting to use up my makeup to the point where I was like using more makeup than I usually use. I was overdoing it with the blush, I was overdoing it with the bronzer. I mean, it kind of like made me like makeup again and want to be a little bit more creative. I feel like I would always rush my makeup, and it also kind of made me see exactly if I liked a product or not, because it got to the point where like sometimes I even got like super annoyed with these products. I took some like little notes based on my experience on these products. I've been kind of lagging on making videos, so I'm trying to catch up. I kind of like stopped using makeup for a bit. I felt like I was kind of breaking out. I'm not sure if it was because maybe I wasn't taking my makeup off right. Let's start with the first one, and this is the Naughty palette. So this is what it looks like now, and here's the before and after. You guys can kind of see the comparison. So the Naughty palette, 8.1 fluid ounces, and at the end of the month it remained the same. I'm pretty sure like whatever I used was not enough to like really change the weight, but you can definitely see in pictures that there's a little bit more of a crevice there. And this is the shade Flirty. My go-to definitely were Flirty, Spicy, and Naughty. Okay, so I started using the shade Naughty as a lip liner and I liked it. I don't know. And then I did use a little bit of Shameless as well. And those are the shades that I kind of mostly used throughout the month. Only shimmer that I really liked is Shameless. The other ones still seemed pretty untouched. There were days where I did definitely get bored with the pinks, so I went in for the browns. But then when I got bored with the pinks, I kind of went in for the browns, but then went back to the pinks, but I kept it a little bit more minimal to the point where I was only using Flirty and then like a liner, a wing, and that was it. Like just Flirty and the wing. But overall, my thoughts on the Naughty palette, I still love the shades. I still think it's a great formula, but after using it for a whole month, I did get bored. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I did get bored and I wanted to not use it anymore. And there was 1 or 2 days where I did not use it and I did use another palette, which I will show you guys. That's gonna be my next palette. I'm still gonna keep this mostly like towards the end of the year so we can see kind of like what, you know, big difference we used at the end of the year. But I am gonna stop for the month of March. Maybe I'll reach for it once or twice, but I don't know. We will see. Look, I'm gonna go do my lashes and finish this look, and then we'll do the next product, which is the Halo Glow. My thoughts on the e.l.f. product, blah blah blah. Again, I feel like it's kind of like the same for all of them. Like, I love them, but then I got bored. So I do still like this product. However, again, I don't recommend using this product by itself. Definitely use maybe a little bit more concealer, but if you use it by itself, it is going to give you like a very glowy face. I was mixing mine with the Your Skin But Better It Cosmetics foundation. This is in the shade Light Medium. This foundation, I've noticed that a lot of people don't like it, but if you use a lot of it, it's going to look really bad. If you use a whole pump or 2 pumps, it's going to use really bad. I've done that before where I've used too much of it because I've been in a rush. So I'm just like... and it just looks really cakey, really bad. That's why I like mixing these two together. So my favorite foundation, I've never found a different foundation that I love so much. Then I stopped because I'm like, okay, I'm kind of sick and tired of wearing the same stuff. So I found in the back of my makeup drawer that I had bought in this like maybe like a year ago or whatever, or I don't remember, but it's like brand new. This Lancome foundation. This is like my all-time favorite. This is the first high-end foundation that my mom bought me like years ago. It's obviously not the same one, but this is the first makeup brand one. And when I used this foundation, I was like,
why do I keep using shitty makeup? No, I'm just kidding.
But this foundation is just so good. It's not gonna give you full coverage. Like if you're a full coverage girly, this is not it. Like this is gonna give you like a very nice natural, like a medium natural coverage. Like you can still see your skin. This is literally your skin but better. No offense. This is like the old packaging, because like I said, I forgot that I had this foundation. I know they came out with new packaging. I don't know if they changed their formula, but if they did, I'm gonna be very disappointed. So I've been kind of using this one. I am wearing it today, this one, just because I'm like, ugh, might as well. We're doing a Project Pan project. What? But yeah, going back to these, it's okay. Like I feel like this is like a great everyday makeup. It does take me a little bit more effort to put this on because it is two different products. I've been trying to mix it and see how that works. I don't know if I still like it, but usually what I do is I add my e.l.f. one, a light layer, kind of gives you like a nice illuminating glow all over the face, and then I go in with a half a pump of this Your Skin But Better. So let me tell you guys what the measurements for this was. So for the e.l.f. Halo Glow, which is this one, so the e.l.f. filter, whatever, what is it called? Halo Glow liquid filter. We started at 4.7, and then at the end of the month, we started February 14, and then by the end of March 14, we were at 4.6. So I did get like a whole good ounce, half an ounce. It's not an ounce because we're still at 4. We got down 0.1 ounce. Also for the Your Skin But Better foundation, I also got down 0.1 ounces. So this one started at 1.5. and then it went down to 1.4. Now for the blushes. So I decided to go a little bit extra and make this a little bit harder for myself. And I decided to do 2 blushes. I did the e.l.f. liquid blush as well as the Shein blush. These are the new formulas. And at first, I was loving both of them, but then it was just too much. This one was more of a natural look. Every once in a while, I would rotate between them, but I felt like I reached more for the e.l.f. blush, just easier to blend. Whereas this one was a little bit more bright in color. This is on point, so the shade itself is very pink. But other than that, I think they're both pretty easy to blend. This is the difference in shade, so I mostly reached for the e.l.f. blush. So this one started at 1.8 and I ended up at 1.7. However, I did spill it. I was kind of organizing my little makeup basket because some things got in there that are not part of my Project Pan, and I pulled out my She Glam blush and it is leaking. It's closed tightly, but it just leaked, so that sucked. I definitely got a huge head start. Obviously, I didn't mean to do that. And there was a little bit in there as well, but the majority of it is pretty much there. You can tell when it's open and when it's closed, but it's spilled. So I feel like I didn't really reach for it as much. I feel like the reason that it even went down is because I spilled it. This one I did use a lot, like a lot. Okay, what else am I missing? Oh, Rare Beauty contour. Mine's in the shade Bright Side. I kind of used it more of a contour just because like it's more grayish. At least that's what it appears on my skin. I love this formula, but I noticed that I don't really reach for this as much. Like if it wasn't for this Project Pan, I'm not even gonna lie, I don't think I would have reached for this, which kind of makes me think like, why did you buy this then? We started at 1.3 and it ended up staying the same. Apparently I did not use as much as I could, but you can definitely see a change. I'm gonna be putting the pictures together for some of them because you can kind of see it, but I do feel like I did use it more than I would of if it wasn't for Project Pan. But when I first started, like the first 2 weeks, I was using every product, like double blushing, you know, doing extra. And then after that, it was just kind of like, I'm over it. So then the next one is my Pro Glow by Tarte. So it was this bronzer, powder bronzer and blush that I would add on top just to kind of set my bronzer and blush. So it was these two right here. I accidentally used a wet brush, so it got a little bit dirty or weird. The formula got a little bit messed up there, but it still works. And then this was the blush that I was using. They honestly look exactly the same. You can kind of see a little bit more on the contour bronzer one right here. This one already had definitely a head start compared to this one. This one looks exactly the same. This one still looks more used than this one. And I did not use this one at all. It was mostly this shade right here. And then this one you can tell a little bit, but not a big difference. This one started with weighing 9 fluid ounces, which I don't know why I did fluid ounces. I just kind of like put it on a scale and then that's what it went for. And it literally stayed the same. Overall, I feel like this project made me realize that makeup actually lasts a long time, especially like certain products like powders. And we definitely don't need 50 different powders. We could just get 1 or 2 and we should be good for at least a whole year. Like I did no dent in the blush at all. To me, it just made me realize that like if you really want to spend money on makeup, definitely like if you have it, spend your money on good makeup and it's gonna last you a long time. So you shouldn't feel too bad for spending your money on makeup. What I'm trying to say is that makeup lasts a long time, and if you want to spend your money on good high quality makeup and you're not one of those like hoarders like me, go for the good one. Like go for a good blush. And obviously sometimes not just because it's like a high-end product it's always going to be good. Yeah, other than that, those were all the products for my Project Pan, but I do want to show you guys the new products that I am adding, mostly because I did get kind of bored with some of these, mostly the eyeshadow. I recently got this palette. This is the Ulta Beauty Everyday Faves eyeshadow palette that I got. If you saw my video of this one, I talk about it, but this is the palette and it is also what I'm wearing at the moment. It's very neutral. So far I've used it probably like 3 times. It has not been a lot of progress in this palette, but I did take obviously before and after pictures. The first day that I technically on the 14th is when I took all this. I probably used it only like 2 or 3 times, but I am going to try to focus mostly on this one just because like, you know, we got to give her a turn. So far I feel like the powders are pretty good. They're pigmented. I haven't really reached into the shimmers. I've been kind of just with this light one, and then I've been using this one on my lips. I like the mirror. I do find the powders to be a little bit powdery. So this one, again, I just went with fluid ounces since I was already doing fluid ounces. But this is 3.8 fluid ounces, and that is what we're starting with at March 14. It's been a couple of days since March 14. It's obviously like March 27th, but I've used it like a couple of times to be honest. So this is our before for this one. So the next products are not at all makeup, but they are kind of like skincare. Beauty. These are products that I bought and I did not like. Well, I didn't hate. I just did not like. And then I just forgot about them. So I decided to bring them back for this month. And hopefully I can finish them and then make up my mind if I like them or not. So the first product is this Ordinary Natural Moisturizer. And I first got it and I was not at all expecting it to be like a very gel like, but it is a clear moisturizer and I was not expecting that. I was expecting like a moisturizer like white and creamy, and I tried it a couple of times and honestly I did not like it. I don't know why, but I just did not like it. I would put it on and then right after my skin just felt kind of dry. I used it today and I was just like, wait a second, this actually feels really nice on the skin. So I don't know how to feel about it. It's at 2.8 fluid ounces, so it might have a little bit less because it is counting the container itself. But when I first got it, I was just kind of like, It's a little drying, which is weird because like you shouldn't be drying. My next two. So this is the Hello Kitty. It's like super greasy because like I've been using it. So this is the Sugar Body Scrub for smooth and nourishing skin. This is by The Cream Shop and Hello Kitty. And when I first bought it, I really wanted like an exfoliant because it is a body scrub, and I was like, you know what, it's Hello Kitty, it's cute, and I do like the smell of peaches. If they would have got strawberry, I would probably gone strawberry, but whatever. We went with the peach because that's the only one that was. And I ended up getting this at TJ Maxx for $5.99, and I used it one time and I hated it. But this is where I am so far because I've been using it every time I shower. I used it one time and I was kind of like not expecting it. Like I was expecting a sugar scrub, not a lotion with little beads. I feel like I cannot use this as an exfoliant. I have to exfoliate my skin with my gloves that I use, my glove exfoliants. I go in and exfoliate, and then I go in with this. But then you're like, okay, so then what's the point of having a sugar scrub? It does smell like peaches, however I feel like it doesn't really last. I definitely wouldn't buy it again. I kind of just prefer my exfoliant gloves to use to exfoliate. We started at 16.2, and I feel like this is going to be the faster one that we're going to see a big decrease in numbers or weight or whatever, because I do use this all the time, and you also do use like a big amount, whereas when you're using foundation and stuff like that, you're just using a little bit. So then the next product is this body mist scent Not Another Cherry, and this brand is supposed to be dupe for very high-end perfumes, which I did not know, so that's nice. And I went into Target and they had samples, and I'm like, oh my god, I love samples. So I started spraying them, and I really like this one. It was unique. Actually, there was another one that I wanted, but they didn't have it in stock, so this was my second choice, and I liked it. Apparently this is supposed to be like some sort of like cherry scent from Tom Ford, and then I noticed that it didn't really last long. But I like, this is why I kind of like Project Pan, because it's making me like really like test products a little bit more. I know like I'm testing them by myself for me or whatever, but it kind of like forced me to like test it out. Like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna put it on my skin instead of my clothes and see if that makes it last longer. Oh yeah, girl. So what I did one day is I just sprayed a shirt, like a shirt that I had laying around. I just sprayed it, and then in the next morning I was like, I smelled it the next morning and it didn't smell like anything. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, come on, like what? So then I was like, you know what, let me spray it on my hand, and it did last a good amount of time. I did wash my hands 2 times because I went to the bathroom, so I felt like I started like around 4:50, and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. By 8 o'clock it was kind of gone, but then I had washed my hands 2 times, so I was like, maybe I should try that again, but like maybe like my inner elbow or something, just to see if it lasts a little bit longer. But like I said, they don't last if you put them on your clothes, like if you spray it over your clothes, but if you put it on your skin, it does smell a little bit more a little longer than when you apply it on your clothes. You know, it lasts longer. This one we started at 5.6 fluid ounces. I also did mark, there's a mark in the back right here, but that was it, you guys, for my Project Pan update. So if you guys like that video and you guys want to stay tuned for my next update, so if you guys want to stay tuned for that, go ahead and subscribe and like this video, leave me a comment, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.